Hi and welcome to another camera card tutorial. Today we're going to look at how we can add some punch or pop to a photo. Here we have a picture of Rani, a very lovable pooch, and the photo's nice, it's nicely toned, it's a little bit on the soft side, so we want to add some punch to this. And what do I mean by punch? This is what I mean by punch. As you can see, we've pulled out much more definition in the fur of the dog's coat and given that picture a much more gritty feel. The background becomes a little bit more washed out, darker colours become more enriched. So you can see the before, and if you look at these lines it's quite blurry, and you can see after where there's much more definition, it's a much grittier and much more appealing shot. So let's see what's involved in putting this sort of image together. There are 5 main steps to adding some punch or pop to your photo. The first one is to create a duplicate layer. Secondly, we desaturate that duplicate layer. That is, we make the colour image a grayscale image. On that duplicate layer, we apply some high pass sharpening. That enhances the high spatial frequencies, adds the extra dimension to your data. And this is one of the cases where it's okay to over sharpen your data, because we're actually going to do some blending in the next step. So we change the blend mode of our duplicate layer. If you haven't played around with blend layers, play with them. You can always find something new to experiment. And finally, you'll tend to find that the duplicate layer that you've grayscaled and sharpened will have too much of an impact on your final output. So we then finally change the transparency of that duplicate layer. Okay, let's get started. Let's first just get rid of this layer that we created, so we're back to our original photo. Now, what we want to do is to duplicate that layer, so we just drag the layer onto the duplicate. So we now have a copy, and this copy we're going to make black and white. And to make it black and white, we go Image, Adjustments, and we click the black and white tool. This brings up some sliders. If you want to emphasise certain colours, you can do. As long as you've got a nice, well contrasted black and white image to start off with, that's all you need. This is perfect for this example. Now we're working on the layer copy, and we need to filter. And we're going to sharpen, and we're going to apply the unsharp mask. And leave threshold on 0. We want everything in the image to be sharpened. You can play around with the amount and the radius so you get a level of sharpening you're happy with. Again, it's one of these things you experiment with. I think that looks good for me. Click OK. The next step is to change the layer mode, and we're going to change it to overlay. And as you can see, that's done most of the job. However, it's done too much of a job. So finally, we just reduce the opacity down until we get something that we like. Before and after. Just lower it a little bit more. Before and after. That's how simple it is. 5 simple steps can turn a very average photo into something with a lot more pop, a lot more punch, a lot more power. That's it for now. See you on our next camera card tutorial.